If it ain't about money, my mother, my brother, my sister, my youngin', no squares in the circle of niggas I run with is VC. You see what I'm saying?
Listen to another episode to see what I'm saying. It's your boy Jonesy 202. I'm in the building with my boy Big Bang. How you feeling, homie?
We back with another one. B.I.G. Bang, you heard of it?
Let's go, let's go.
Yes, sir.
To my far right, I got my man Santana. How you feeling, buddy?
I'm feeling blessed, man. Looking good, man. Everything.
I know that right.
Yeah.
I know that right.
Yes,
What we
sir.
talking
Man,
about today, man?
Yeah.
What these people about to see, man?
Should we get right into it?
Talk about it.
Let's go. The pressure of being your own boss. Ooh-wee. The pressure of being your own boss. Let's talk about it. Is entrepreneurship really freedom?
In a way, I feel like it ain't, just because it's like you used to have like a 9 to 5, and now when you're an entrepreneur, it's a 24/7 type deal. Because it's like you working for yourself, and especially if you drop that 9 to 5, then you're really like
You all in.
Yeah, you have nobody but you.
Yeah,
which
you
is
all
the
in.
best and the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's literally nobody to blame. You have no one to blame but yourself at that point. You know what I mean? When you working a job, you got managers, supervisors, co-workers, but when it's you, it's you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cannot
There
blame
ain't nobody to
nobody
blame.
else.
Everyone looking at you like, hey, this ain't working because of you.
Yeah.
You know? So it's tough. That's a tough one.
do you think social media has like made people become entrepreneurs that wouldn't normally try it?
Yeah, because it has so much of an influence. You know what I mean?
What is that? What is making that influence become a thing? Like,
I mean, I just feel like, you see people on social media, they're living their best life, maybe in they traveling, they doing their own thing,
Yeah.
Not working a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then they will compare themselves to that and be like, you know what? I need to do that. I need to create something of my own.
is that like a good thing, or is that like a trap? You feel like for people to just
I think it could be
chase
both.
capitalism?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be both because it's the reason a lot of people are doing it is because they have the opportunity to be seen, right?
Right.
Like back in the day, like entrepreneurship was they was getting it off the muscle. Like it was word of mouth. You had to really push. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like people had to know your work, like
Yeah.
to have you represent whatever it was, right? Now, bro, you can fake some shit online and people can flood to your page because they think, you know what I mean? That's what's the most popping thing right now.
People are selling courses
Yeah.
on how to sell courses.
Yeah, it's all about facts.
Like, it's crazy.
Facts. I tell people all the time. If a nigga ever give you a 1 to 8 count of how to get this,
Ooh-wee.
nigga, it's cap.
Be careful.
Because
You know
why
what
would
I
he
mean?
show you?
Why would I show you?
Yeah.
If I ain't even reached the highest point, how I'm trust this nigga to come show me what to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hear that, bro.
Like, come on, man.
Is it really freedom, though? I don't know, bro. I feel like once you take that step into entrepreneurship, it's a blessing and a curse, right? Everything could work out for you,
Yeah.
and it could really go to places you've never thought it would be,
Yeah.
right? But at the end of the day, sometimes it may not.
Yeah. I feel like the freedom part comes from there's nobody to answer to anymore,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And which is a gift and a curse because the person you're talking to is the one in the mirror, right?
Yeah, and it's nobody to set that like standard for you every day on what to do. Like you have to really control yourself.
Yeah.
So it really shows you the level of discipline you have within
Yeah.
yourself, and
Yeah.
you're really competing against the person you were yesterday.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So it's really it's very analytical. You got to really analyze yourself and your weak points.
Facts.
And yeah,
It's tough though. It's tough though, man. You're taking a chance on yourself. You're
do you
taking a
think
risk on
that
yourself,
you think
know?
that entrepreneurship is about the destination or the journey?
I think it's mostly about the destination in today's society. I really do.
So what does that financial freedom look like? Is it just like the number? Is it like ability to do certain?
I think it comes to what you can provide for yourself and the people you care about, right? It's because it's so once you get to that point, okay, you're winning. Everything is going the way you thought it would. Let's say that, right?
Right.
Okay, you get to that point. you're gonna feel accomplished because okay, you go to dinner with the homies, right? You might go to the section and go crazy, but you can take care of the bill, and it's because of the things that you put for yourself in your business, right? But the thing is, though, the reality of it is sometimes it does not work like that. You know,
majority of the time,
most times it doesn't work like that.
I think,
and it depends on what field you end up going into, though.
Right. I was just about to say that.
I mean? Like I feel like, honestly, if I could go back, bro, I would have been like a barber or something. Because
that is a good business.
Just because keeping it a buck, like I can charge you whatever I want to charge.
Yeah,
I can build my own clientele, and if I set that number, I know I'm always going to have that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Barbers is one of the biggest growing professions in the U.S. right now,
and
actually.
It's like, that's one thing know, like, no matter what, all this technology and stuff, that's not going to be taken away from man.
Right.
You know
need
what
a haircut,
Or women, like, just hairstyle, the hairdressing, all that stuff, like, it's tough. You know what I mean? But if you're cold, you can really, like, build, especially if you would have did it young.
Yeah.
What? If I'd have been cutting hair like in high school, into college, and now out of there, like I'd have had a cold clientele.
Yeah.
A set price. I'm charging niggas $60.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cut.
And they gonna pay because niggas want to be fresh.
They
niggas
want to
be outside.
fresh.
You know what I'm saying?
And then you know what else comes into play? You know what else comes into play is marketing.
Facts.
Marketing is everything.
Marketing is everything, but a lot of people do not know how to use social media to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Not knowing and also being like nervous.
Yeah.
Because of the judgment and stuff. Because it is a really, it is tough.
Yeah.
All the criticism and stuff like that you get from randoms.
Yeah.
Ain't got no profile picture.
But you got to think, bro, the most successful ones be the ones that are willing to walk in those rooms and learn. Willing to walk in those rooms and market themselves like, okay, maybe I might not have it here, but if you're already there, I can benefit from that.
Right.
You can help me on my journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the people that don't really get successful, they're the ones that like, bro, you know what I mean? It's pride and ego.
Yeah.
I don't need you. Like, you know what I mean?
At the end of the day,
I can do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, bro, you might have the physical abilities. You know what I mean? You might have the thought of it, but sometimes you need the recipe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can cook. Now, is the shit gonna taste good?
Yeah, exactly.
You feel me?
That's what it really comes down to.
That's what it comes down to.
I feel like being an entrepreneur, you got to really be a student of the game, though, too.
Yeah.
Like, whatever craft you are, you got to really be a student. You got to really be willing to learn from everybody. You should treat everybody like a learning lesson.
Facts.
Everybody can teach you something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A clock is right twice a day. You know what I'm saying? A dead clock. You know
Come
what I mean?
on. You understand the history of the moment.
You feel me?
You know what? I feel like a lot of people, they go into it thinking that it's just going to be peaches and cream. But again, the bad part of it is that you will go sometimes not getting paid. You know what I mean? There'll be weeks where you don't get some money. You know what I mean? Or it doesn't meet what you may want it to.
And
you know
are you
I mean?
willing to accept that sacrifice?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Can you go through that?
Are you willing to accept the failures that come with before you get to the wins? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you able to take those losses and not get disgruntled, you know what I mean, and quit and keep pushing through? Because, you know what I mean, there's a win at the end of the journey.
Oh, yeah.
It's just at what point are you going to get to? Some people get to it, bro, first couple
Quicker than
tries.
later. Yeah.
First try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people it take you 10 tries.
Yeah, definitely.
But if you quit, you're never going to figure it out.
And it's easy to get discouraged because everybody's life look like a highlight reel.
Facts.
Especially on social media.
And
so
when
it's
you
just,
really tap in,
yeah.
But you know what? You know what else?
people ain't doing that
And
great.
another way that it's easy to be discouraged, not even comparing yourself, but simply just the losses. You know what I mean? When you're going through those losses and you're like, damn, like I didn't think it would be this bad.
I feel like people should look at those losses as lessons.
You
Because
have to.
it was-
All those L's are always lessons. They're never losses. They're always lessons.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta learn before you earn. You drop that L and then you earn. You know what I'm
Come
saying?
on.
Yeah.
So you really gotta
That's
be
real.
a student of the game.
Yeah. It take a strong person to do that, though.
Because heavy is the
You
head
know
that
what I
wears
mean?
the crown.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
You asked for this.
Yeah. It's what you want. How much you willing to sacrifice to get it?
What are some businesses that you guys see, like, I guess we'll just use social media, but what are some stuff that you see, like,
popular.
Yeah, that's popular.
That's like you see a lot of people are like, oh, I'm quitting my
I
9 to 5 and I'm gonna go do this. Barber, right, for the men is the equivalent to nails for the women.
So
right?
nails and barber.
How many females you see are nail technicians, right?
Yeah.
Or estheticians.
Yeah, estheticians.
Right?
Look, they got it.
Yeah, you hear me? Dug that one out the book. Been practicing that shit all day. All day in the mirror. Esthetician. Niggas was stuttering earlier, but I got it.
Now I got it. Now I got it. Come on, man.
You know what I mean? But you see a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of them are quick to like, even, joints are quick to go to beauty school because they can get those, you know what I mean, those quick certificates because you do have to have the licenses, right?
Yeah,
to
definitely.
push forward. So those are the big ones.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, for real. Because
yeah.
you know what it
Doing
is,
your
too?
thing, man. I'm
Look,
proud of you.
They take a risk. Because honestly, sometimes it will work.
Yeah.
It will work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you have to be willing to take that risk.
And you won't fail if you don't quit.
Exactly.
Come on.
Oh, my God, bro.
Come
I'm
on.
so happy you said that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you don't quit, if you just stick it through the mud, bro, if you just keep pushing, you're going to get there eventually. Yeah. And again, things may look so bad for you. You know what I mean? It might be on the brink of, like just the worst possible situation.
And I would say, like, work smarter and not harder. You know what I'm saying? The information is out there. You just got to look.
Learn from other people's mistakes.
You know what I'm saying? Other people have done what you're trying to do. So it's just like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
You got to understand, only you can truly kill your dream.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, it don't
Very
matter what
true.
nobody else is putting in front of you, what nobody else is putting on you. Like, if you aren't believing in yourself, you know what I mean, and you're not pushing yourself forward, why would other people believe in you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
The dream dies and lies with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what
They
it
say
is, man.
they say the graveyard is the most valuable site because all the dreams that done died with it. You know what I mean?
Talk
So
about
it's
it.
like,
See
don't
what I'm
let
saying?
your
Bam,
dreams-
bam, bam,
Talk
bam.
about it.
See what I'm
Don't
saying?
let your dreams die with you, nigga.
See what I'm saying on the
Come
night?
on.
Come on. Come on.
Don't let your dreams die with you,
Say that one more
nigga.
time. Say that one more time for the
Yeah.
people,
Hey,
man.
the graveyard is the most valuable site because all the dreams that died in there.
Come on, man.
Ooh, wee.
Don't let your
help somebody.
dreams die with you.
Let's
Gonna help
talk
somebody,
about
man.
it. Another one that I see, at least on my socials, is trucking.
Yeah, trucking is
Yeah.
a huge one.
I see a lot.
Because
of that.
transportation will never not be a thing.
I had a trucking business back in the day.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How was
Jump
that?
in it.
Bro,
What made you start that?
honestly, you know what? It was the experiences that the people that I associated with had at the time. You know what I mean? I saw how it was.
Your circle is
working for them.
important.
It definitely
Your
is.
circle is important. You got to be around people that are doing stuff with their life.
Yeah.
If you want to
Facts.
do stuff with your life.
And I still own my semi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I had two at the time. I sold one.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? But now I have another that is
Yeah.
just, I'm selling it
Yeah.
because I'm ready to get out. You know what I mean? I don't. But this is why, right? When I was an entrepreneur, I had to give up so much of my personal time. Right? There was when there's a problem, I have to answer to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No matter what time in the night, no matter what I'm doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have to answer to that. And yeah, the money's good. I was, taking trips, doing this and that,
Baller.
Yeah, balling.
Shot
You know what I mean? I was
caller.
balling, doing my thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, I had to give up the time that I had to myself. And that's what I think is the beauty of having a 9 to 5. You don't have to deal with that. After 5 p.m., boy,
You don't have to deal with the responsibilities.
nothing. It's over with. Your day is done.
How do
So-
people identify if they're a candidate for entrepreneurship or just a regular 9 to 5? Because there is nothing wrong with a regular 9 to 5. It's stable.
I swear it is, man.
So it's like, well, how do people?
It's underrated. But
how,
go ahead.
How do people know if like they have the personality type or like the qualities to be an entrepreneur? Like, what are those top
What do they
qualities?
say? It's
I'll say
not-
this, right? From my experience, you have to be willing to be down. I'm talking about really down. I'm talking about when you in the hole down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not, bro. You got to be willing to be in the hole and be comfortable in the hole.
Comfortable in discomfort.
Yes.
Okay.
Comfortable in discomfort. when things are out of your control, you can't panic.
Yeah.
Right? You can't panic. You can't say, oh, well, this ain't for me. This ain't. You already done started the journey. You got to keep going. You know what I mean?
So you being on both sides of the spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
what to your personal life, what do you prefer? A 9-to-5 or being a full-time entrepreneur?
Ooh, that's tough.
Let's keep it real.
If I'm going to keep it real,
Pros and cons.
I think that I would prefer to be an entrepreneur simply because I don't like someone telling me what I have to do.
That's worth the instability.
I think so. And I think this is where the experience comes into play too, right?
New word
Because
nigga got on me. That nigga found out today in the dictionary.
no, but look, it's worth it. This is where experience comes into play, right?
Yeah.
The experience, right?
Right.
When you are down bad and you've gone through that and you have that experience, and then you also have the experience of having a bad boss or something like that.
Facts.
Where, work is just not ideal for you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You don't like dealing with that. Bro, for me, like I said, I would always choose being comfortable or being uncomfortable in uncomfortable positions, right? The reason why is because at the end of the day, bro, this is you. You have this. You have the ability to keep pushing and then for your own thing to just keep growing. And then on top of that, when you think about longevity, you can pass that to your next generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can give game. You know what I mean? You can build your team. It's not as always bad as it looks to be. You know what I mean? And that was my problem. I was young when I did it. I was like 22, I think. You know what I mean? Like I was pretty young doing it,
I feel like the problem with a lot of, especially like young entrepreneurs, is that they want to wear all the hats in the business, and that really tires you out, and then you end up not doing such a good job.
It's the greed
You
factor.
gotta delegate to elevate. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's hiring some virtual assistants or your friends or whoever you get, but you gotta let other people do what they do best, so you can do what you do best. That's how you build a company. It's not just one person. Jeff Bezos don't run the whole Amazon. He got everybody doing certain stuff for a reason.
Right.
But it's everybody want to skip, right? They always say you should go through the whole alphabet. Don't just go A to Z, right? People don't enjoy the journey anymore. They want instant
That's
success.
why I asked my question.
You know what I'm saying?
I think for me, even answering my own question is really the journey, the person you become, going to the destination, building those habits, believing in yourself, making that consistency, that type of stuff. It translates to other parts of your life, not just money.
Yeah.
This is the other thing too. You have to know not when to quit, but when to be flexible. Because I'm still involved in the trucking industry. I may not run my own loads. I may not drive. You know what I mean? I may not dispatch or anything like that. But I consult. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I consult. I can tell you how to run a company. I can, gain a small bit of a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to know when to get in and get out. It's a lot that goes into it. You know what I mean?
When is those times when to get in and when to get out, though?
Yeah, you stopped.
And
at
then
some
also,
point, right?
I did. I stopped.
So at what point did you was like, yeah, I'm done with this.
So a little story time. When I owned my trucks, I had my titles. I had 2 trucks at the time. I went and was running them, and I was making good money. I won't say how much, but I was making good money.
Come on.
Right. And what happened was one of my engines broke down. So you got 2 trucks. One goes down, that's 50% of your income.
Yeah.
Right there, boom, you're done.
Yeah.
Right. So you still have the bills that you have, right, and you still have all of these payments that you may have to make. Right. For your contractors, the insurance payments, if you're operating under someone else's authority, you know what I mean? It's payments that you have to make, right?
Right.
So for me, once I lost one of my trucks, I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and sell it, right? I sold it. I was still up. I made enough to come back. But at the same time, I was like, this is not enough. So being able to understand what's going to happen in the future, right? Based off of your situation. I think that's how you have to be aware of the situation and know, okay, this is not going to end well, so let me maybe do something different. Let me adjust a little bit.
Yeah,
audible play.
Knowing when to cut your losses is important.
It definitely is, because you can shoot yourself in the foot.
Yeah, with a lot of things too, not just business, but knowing when to cut your losses is important.
Right. That's real, bro. And that's exactly what happened for me. You know what I mean? I went and I shut it down. Yeah. And it worked out in my favor, to be honest, because, you know, what actually happened is I rented out my truck, and the truck broke down. Yeah. You know what I mean? It broke. That's the one I had left. It broke down.
Okay.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So, okay, now I'm really ass out.
Yeah.
You know, so, okay, boom. What am I going to do? Am I going to spend? I ain't going to lie, the bill was.
How do you come back, though, from those, like, down positions? Like, people that are really down in their business right now, like, what words would you tell them to really come back out of that rut?
Yeah, that shit in the red. How do you climb back to the green?
I think the best thing you can possibly do, one, assess your situation and be realistic with yourself.
Be realistic.
Be realistic.
That's the key right there. A lot of people live in fantasies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why are people living in fantasies, though? Like, is it not a real thing? Or, like, what is it make-believe, or why? There has to be a reason people are living in a fantasy.
It's easier to tell a lie than tell the truth.
Ooh, we.
Yeah, rumors spread faster than the truth. Yep,
right?
For sure.
So it's easier if we personally, like, know you're in the red, right? Because we're your true friends. But your audience and the people that you're presenting to don't know you're in the red.
Yeah.
So it's easier for you to come out and be like, oh, we got this. Like, you know what I mean? Everything's good. Da 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 da. Whole time we know the business is hurting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's hurting.
It's hurting. We're not in no green. But if you're honest and truthful, I feel like it's a better chance for you because it relieves that stress.
It really does.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people, like, that's one of the biggest things you deal with. Like, there's nobody to put that on to.
Yeah.
You know, when you are an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Like, it's the success and failure is all on you.
Yeah. And in my situation, bro, you know what? I didn't have anybody to, like, show me how to do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm
Took a chance.
I'm taking a chance. I'm really, really taking a chance. There's some people out there that do this and they have, like, guidance from people that have done this before. Maybe
or
like
cosign.
Yeah, cosigner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you're really out there doing this by yourself, you putting your own money into this, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be real, bro, because if you don't, you will find yourself in a way worse situation than you even started with.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it right there. I feel like, you know, you just got to be real.
Yeah.
Damn. For the influence of social media, though, that is interesting to, like, think about, right? The people that are on there that are faking the funk, and they are telling us, okay, this is what you need to do to, you know, make some money, this, that, and the third, and then you have the heart to go out there and jump to, you know, start your own thing.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's kind of messed up, right? Like, they're going out there telling you, like, hey, you can do this.
It is kind of messed up, but at the same time, though, it's like, at least you inspired somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but is
if
it
they
inspiring for real?
if
Can
they
you put them
try
in a
to,
bad
if,
situation.
Yeah, you put them in a bad situation. You're selling a lie.
if somebody's selling a lie,
somebody?
what?
Are you inspiring somebody if they're selling you a lie on social media?
If they're saying it's super easy and it's not, or something, or
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, look, right?
oh, okay.
Say I got a I don't know, I got a trucking company, and I'm telling you, like, I'm gonna give you A to Z plan on how to start your business.
I'll even give you the load plan.
I'll even give
help
you
yeah.
Yeah, all of that. And I'm sure you guys have seen that, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So look, when you see that on social media and they make it look so easy, but the thing is, when you step out there, you put in your own money. You didn't bought that subscription or something like that.
For $49.99.
I wish it was just $49.
I could get you started.
$499.
Yeah, it'd be expensive. It'd
Like
be
what?
expensive.
You got to think some people are down to their last little bit of hope. And it's like, well, I gotta jump out. If he can do it, I know I can, right? Because it looks like he's successful at it.
But the thing is, though, like a lot of things is simple but not easy, and people don't understand that there's a difference between being simple and not easy. Having a trucking company, like if you understand the concept, it's not that hard.
It's not that hard,
but
it's really not.
It's not like patty cake. It's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Like it is simple though. So if you, that's what I'm saying. You gotta really be a student of the game and really gotta like love to learn and like really put yourself in that process.
People love to skip that part.
They do.
Yeah.
People want to go. They want to go straight to success.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why they try to take these shortcuts and they pay for these little bullshit ass ads that are telling you how they can help you start your company from A to Z. You know what I mean? They're trying to jump straight to Z. What about the other 25 motherfucking
Why do people try? Why are people trying to skip the process though? Why are people trying to skip the process though?
I think it's because they're being sold the dream. Yeah. They're being sold the dream.
Yeah.
Right?
Instant success.
They're being sold the destination.
Instant success.
Yeah.
Not how long it takes to get there.
Yeah.
They see the destination.
Yeah.
They never saw the journey.
Yeah.
Right?
The journey's nasty.
That cameraman.
You know what I'm saying?
Cameraman saw it all. Yeah.
You know?
That's real, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's what it comes. The cameraman, he captures everything. You know what I mean? It's just on you if you want that shit to be put out.
So 9 to 5s are what? Like really
beneficial if you use them in the right way, right? If you're not going to a 9 to 5 in the mindset of, damn, I just need this so I can pay this bill. I just need this so I can take care of this, right? Mm-hmm. If you're going into a 9 to 5 with the mindset of, okay, this is what's helping me pay for the expenses that I have, right?
Right.
But I can also take this and build onto what I want to do in the future.
Right.
You know what I mean? A lot of people go to 9 to 5s just because, nigga, they got to make money. This world revolves around money. We got to make money to survive, right? So a lot of people is like, okay, they're just going to take whatever job, right? You're not happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the same time that you have that job, you can be taking shit to the side and building on to what you want to do in the future.
Yeah.
But people rather sit there and live check to check.
I feel like
because they're comfortable, you become complacent at a 9 to 5. Majority, 85% of the time, I say. You know what I mean? It's rare you see someone at a 9 to 5 that is actually successful. You know what I mean? Unless it's something that you actually fucking love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of people, they have 9 to 5s because, I mean, they like the stability of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like not everybody is built for entrepreneurship. So some people might be comfortable with just getting that stable tech. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like at least I don't have to worry about if I'm going to make rent next month. Yeah. Or if I'm going to do this. They know, they go to the job, they do their little thing.
Show up.
You know what I'm saying?
Sign in.
Show up, show out, get out.
Yeah, facts.
You feel me?
Honestly, there are some
And
that's
jobs.
okay, though.
Yeah.
That's
some great jobs.
100%
There's some
okay.
great jobs out there
That pay very well.
Because they say,
nurse.
they say the
You could
average
be
business doesn't
you know what I
even
mean?
profit for the first 5 years
That's
anyways.
real.
So it's just like, if you ain't really ready for the, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't really down for the come up,
I think
you
it's
ain't really finna run it up.
a certain aspect of like FOMO when you see that type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But reality of it is, I like to say JOMO, the joy of missing out. You know what I mean? Like
You just came up with that?
No, I've seen it before. I'm not going to take credit for that. JOMO. Yeah.
Yes, we all came up with shit today.
Niggas inventors.
Yeah.
Esthetician, instability.
Come on.
JOMO.
Big ass word.
Yeah.
Tongue twister ass.
What we doing? What we doing? Abbreviation ass niggas, man.
Look, man. Come on, bro. That's real, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's some good jobs out there, though. It's
Facts.
some real good jobs that will really, take care of the bills, bro. That will take care of, like, the things that you want in life that you don't really even have to take.
Do you think a lot of people go into entrepreneurship because of social media and, like, especially, like, what, like, their girls may require, or, like, they may want, like, a boss nigga or a boss?
I think entrepreneur, like, with that, right?
Let's talk about it.
People are heavily influenced. What pushes people to
Whisper at me, nigga.
Like, it pushes people definitely to that, right?
Yeah.
But I also think it's the pressures of just instant success. Like, everybody wants to have money right now in this second, right?
Right.
Majority of people around the world are struggling. You You know what I'm saying? At somehow, some way or another. Whether it's not even money, it might not even be money. It's in another area, right? But it's the instant success that everyone's looking at because that's all that's being sold. You know what I mean? Like they're like, if you do this and you get all this type of money, you can get this type of person. You know what I mean? You get this type of house, you get this type of car, like, you know what I mean? Whatever drives you. And if you're sold on material things, then yeah, you're gonna be stuck in that mindset of I gotta go get this. I gotta make this happen, right? Whole time, bro, you don't realize where you canceled that 9 to 5 and you went to start a business that you know nothing about.
Ooh wee.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now you're stuck in a worse position than you was in because you thought, oh, this is, well, I seen them do it. So
I feel like
I could do it.
You shouldn't stop your 9 to 5 unless your entrepreneurial thing is making more money than it.
Use your 9 to 5 to build
To
your dream.
fund it.
Yeah,
if
that's real.
If that's your dream.
Yeah.
If it's not, then stick with
key.
your 9 to 5.
That's the key.
But if it is, like, just save a little money, do a little, you know,
Yeah.
research,
Yeah.
do your homework.
You could do both.
Sacrifice the short-term happiness for the long-term success.
That's real.
You know what I mean?
Come on.
Think how many times that we just, yeah,
Talk
it's
to 'em.
dope to live in the moment, right?
Yeah.
Which is great. But that don't mean you got to go and spend everything right then and there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Save for a
If I
rainy
can-
day.
Yeah, if I can sacrifice for the short-term happiness so I can have long-term success, I'm going to put myself in a better situation. Now I'm above and beyond where I was. You know what I mean? A lot of people, you get a 9 to 5, right? And a year later, you're in the same position.
Yeah.
You
Or-
didn't
or-
improve.
even
You didn't.
further
You
back.
didn't progress. You didn't digress. You're just stuck. You know what I mean?
That rat race.
Yeah, the hamster wheel.
Yeah.
You're just running in a circle.
Let me give y'all a scenario. So, would you rather? I love these. All right, would you rather?
Dum dum.
Would you rather make
Watch yourself.
70K and love your job, or or let's say $250,000 running your own business and hate it?
It depends how much you love
It
money.
depends how much you value money. Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. If you value money, then niggas is gonna
I go through that hate.
they're gonna take that 250.
They're gonna take the 250 over and hate
Think how many
their
people
job.
how many people take jobs just to survive.
But think
So
about
if
it
I'm
too.
in control of it and I don't like it, but it's making money, I'm gonna run this motherfucker.
The better, I ain't gonna lie. The better,
You know what I mean?
the better question would have been: would you rather take 70K and be at a job, or 50K and be on your own or something? Like,
Yeah. I
does,
feel like that too. That's such a big ass gap.
yeah.
Okay, let's
that's,
lower
that's
the
a
gap.
super gap.
maybe.
That's
Because-
$180,000 gap.
But bro, you have to think this is where the other part of that comes into play. Hating your job, right? You're gonna hate your job, and then that hatred is gonna come home. That stress from hatred is gonna come home, and then it's gonna play into other factors of your life.
Yeah, it can.
It depends what part of your life
It
you're
can.
in.
But if I got 250K off of some shit that I'm running, but I don't like it, nigga, first of all, that sounds dumb as hell.
Yeah, you're making that much money, you must like it, nigga.
250K. What the fuck am I mad about?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? What I want more? You know
just
what I
the
mean?
stress.
Is
We talked about it though. The stress of being an entrepreneur, things aren't going your way, and yeah, you make 250K for the year, let's say, but for
Yeah,
one
but
month
is that
you make
profit?
nothing.
Is
Yeah.
that profit?
Let's say,
or is that revenue?
If
Let's
it's
say
250K,
revenue.
you can't hate it.
That's revenue.
revenue.
So then that's the difference, because you got to pay a lot of your overhead. You got to pay a lot of your, you know what I'm saying?
You're making
So it's not
revenue.
profit.
It's
So
not
what's profit?
So look, yeah, exactly.
So you made 70K profit. You made the same shit that you made loving your job.
That's really where I was going at.
Okay.
You made the 250K revenue, but your profit was the same. You see what I'm saying?
So you might as well stick with what makes you happy.
You think
If
so?
working a regular job makes you more happy, then
If that
you
makes
do
you more
that.
happy, and I'm making the same amount, literally off the dollar,
But it
outside
depends.
of the revenue,
It's like you made that though.
then
Your
I'd
pride
rather
and
be-
joy.
I'd rather be happy, right? Are you depressed for making 250 in revenue and only collecting 70?
Yeah.
I think the pressure and the things that come
You
with.
know what I mean? Because that 180 is gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
Like that's a
But
lot
then
of
again,
pressure
you could
to deal
sell
with,
your
bro.
business.
You can, yeah, it's an option.
if you
Yeah.
you know.
It's
Shark
an
Tank.
option.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but no, that's a lot of things to think about, man. A lot of things to unpack. You know what I mean? If folks listening at home, if y'all got businesses, man, y'all want to chime in, you know what I mean? Tap in.
Yeah,
on the sites.
tell us about your biggest
You know what I mean?
struggles.
See what
I
I'm saying on
definitely wanna
every
hear about it.
platform.
Yeah.
Let us know. We'll react. Maybe we'll call in. Whatever happens, you know what I mean? We'll have
Or
a
support
conversation
your
about it.
business. Yeah,
We can see
comment.
what you saying. You see what we saying. You know what I mean?
Come
See
on
what
now.
you doing. Yep.
Hey
Come on,
man. Look, it's your boy Jonesy 202.
B.I.G. Bang. You heard me?
Santana.
Look, man, y'all go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, man. Turn on your post notifications. Look, we in this joint. We're gonna tap in with the next episode. I'll see y'all later.
Come
Boom.
on.